being outside the cordon, if you don't have a conscience, is fine. You just carry on. Lex's ailment is that he is super concerned with serving people, and super concerned with how we do that, how we react to it as the law enforcement, as the government, as the, trying to do the right thing by them, and so that is difficult. I think lots of sleepless nights, lots of concerns. But I read this article which was about Ebola and HIV and how they attack our humanity. And the journalist was saying they attack our humanity because when if we had children and they were ill and they were crying or they were upset, we would naturally try to comfort them. But what happens with these viruses is the word is do not make contact with the people. And if we were able as human beings to just go, I'm not going to touch my screaming baby, or I'm not going to touch my loved one, we'd be all right. But then the guy, and I sort of thought, yeah, fair enough. I think Lex is someone who lives in the West, who still has the compassion and the care for human beings, even though these are people that are in his city. But I think he seems to care about people. He seems to want the best out of people and the best out of situations, and that is problematic if you're just being told to do certain orders and be quite stringent in a way. But here is someone who, he became a cop because he wanted to improve the area that he lived in, and he wanted to serve the people that he walked with and schooled with and ate with, and so it's a very difficult decision for him when they come to him and say, look, we want you to be this guy. But then, as you probably have all seen, his girlfriend and his best friend are on the inside of the cordon, so being able to have a little more access is quite appealing. So then there's that kind of that moral pull. What does he decide to do in that situation? Like, stay true to himself, honor his loved ones. So I think there's not guilt there, but I feel like Lex is the sort of person who would trade places in a heartbeat if he could, with both Jana and Jake. So there's a feeling of upset, definitely, but I don't know that it's guilt. I think that's a moment where you get to see Lex's heart and just who he is, I mean, he would be mortified if he knew that he was being filmed at that moment, and would have probably grabbed the tape and just chucked it or whatever. But I think, so as the audience, I believe it's quite a voyeuristic shot, isn't it? I think the audience get to see it, but then that gets published to the world, and so the government gets to see it, the local community get to see it, and it could be fair to say they put quite a bit of faith in Lex, which puts pressure on him. Thinking that, he questions everything that he gets. He has the ability to make that right decision under pressure. There was and then there's the pressure from the people outside, and then the press outside, and the government, and everyone's requesting and asking things of him, and we sort of slowly see that happening. And I love working with Claudia. She's so playful, and she's so kind of she's really like present, I have to say I feel very blessed on this job. Like, I've been surrounded by just really talented people that really care, with a great work ethic. So every day you come to work, people are just bringing the heat, and I'm the cool nigga.